So, Mr. Mocker, you having me out researching the Hollywood Oscar scene, huh? Well, hold on to your bootstraps, because here we go.
We're going to delve into Django Unchained and the controversy surrounding Tarantino's use of violence in the movie. The first article is from The New Yorker, written by Jelena Cobb. In the article, she talks about Tarantino's violence in Django and whether it is gratuitous. Ms. Cobb states that Tarantino took to the genre of spaghetti western as a shield in order to get his audience to suspend itself in disbelief long enough for him to communicate the horrific violence the slaves endured. Her take is that no black director would ever get the funds nor the black-white audience to accept a film of this temperament. Moving on, we have an article by Adam Sewer. Mr. Sewer expounds on how Django is not what the aforementioned Miss Cobb calls racial ventriloquism, a camouflage Tarantino hides behind. In Mother Jones, he in fact says if you research or watch Tarantino films, he hides behind nothing. Mr. Sewer's point is the fact that the white man violently gets his comeuppance in Django Unchained presents a different mythology to the film screen. This brings us to our next source, which is written by African-American Scott Reynolds Nelson in the Chronicles of Higher Education. Mr. Nelson reviews the film and the violence in it from the perspective of someone who grew up watching blaxploitation films, like me. I love me some Black Belt Jones.
I'll be too busy looking good.
Mr. Nelson goes on to say that Django quotes many blaxploitation movies of the 70s and does a poor job of representing reality. However, in the end, he feels the movie is grand and gives us all something we need: a strong, black, bad man who seeks retribution. Which leads us back to our next article in Violence, penned by Brent Lang. In this article, Lang quotes Tarantino in saying, if any of the audience thought that his movie Django Unchained was violent, they should take a look at history and how the violence of slave owners was nothing in comparison to what his movie showed.
I wanted it to take place within the backdrop of slavery, and when it came, and I wanted to mix it up so you could actually see the brutality that was perpetrated by Americans on black slaves. But frankly, to put the truth of the reality is, it was about 1,000 times worse than what I showed. I couldn't show how bad it was, or the movie would be unwatchable.
Finally, the editors of Culture Curators delve into the two types of violence that Django represents. One style that represents the violence towards slaves during the period. Second, the cathartic violence illustrated by the slaves killing their owners. The article finishes by talking about why race is still a problem today and what makes Django so relevant.
There's your research, Mr. Mocker. Now, get me out of this gig, get me in front of some real Hollywood money so I can sell my movie.